What? You don't know when that happens? That's because it was filler. As a diamond ranked anime watcher, I can vouch that we all been in a situation where we're watching an anime episode and sometime later you realize it was a filler. It's a canon event for all of us. And I know the initial feeling of annoyance and dread as you feel like you've wasted your time. But you didn't. Look back at the first time you were watching an anime filler. Well, hold on. If you're an OG like me, of course. Most likely you enjoyed it, never realizing it was filler to begin with. And it still has a terrible rep for being boring and a waste of time. Which, that just couldn't be further from the truth. Don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to your face saying that I always knew it was filler and I loved it. No, nay. I only realized it when, well, I decided to start watching anime and repeating it again and again and watching the same anime for like 9 times. If I'm being specific, I watched Naruto like 2 times or 3. Maybe 4. Okay, it was a bunch of times. I couldn't help it. Naruto is my GOAT, one of my first, alongside with Soul Eater and Full Metal. Absolute peak cinema. Now, before I go on a rant about how good and bad fillers can be, you actually have to know what fillers are before I start talking about them. But I'm pretty sure you guys know what it is just from the name, but if you don't, well, like, TLDR, since the anime in question has caught up with the source material, filler kind of just happens. Kind of just appears. And the studio's all like, well, we gotta be making more while the writer's writing. Which also gives some characters more screen time. That's a huge bonus. Right, 1010? Orihime, Chad, or any other character in Bleach? Yeah, pipe dreams. Now, I already know that filler is a iffy subject, especially depending on the type of person you are. I mean, I'm talking about a very outdated subject, but hey, I came to change some minds, even though I am talking about a very, very, very outdated subject. And see, I really wouldn't blame you for just saying, like, I like being on the main plot line. Look, I get it. Not canon, ain't no point of watching something that has no relevance in the story whatsoever. And I know some of y'all feel like filler really isn't good half the time, which, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it, you ain't lying. But hey, isn't that a lot of shows to begin with? I mean, there's a lot of anime slop. But you gotta understand, these fillers aren't anything that's like backed up by the writer. Like, they have the content inside fillers have really the writer has no say, is what I'm trying to say. It's mainly just the directors and like the animators. They just do what they do. They do it for fun. And I mean, I kind of like that, because with that means they don't really put much effort into these episodes, and that can work out to an episode's that could work out to an anime's ugh. That could work out to that could work out to the filler's advantage, especially as a comedy scene. I mean, I will say a huge problem with filler is that they disturb the pacing of an arc that you were probably enjoying. But if you're listening to what I was saying, these fillers are there to give our Arthur a break and more time to start cooking. And we can't be making him or her be writing like they're running out of time. That's where it just goes downhill. And on the plus side, back then arcs were like 25 to 100 plus episodes, right? So I can surmise that having a filler every now and then can't hurt. And it was also pretty exhausting to try to keep up with the main line sometimes, especially when there was too much happening or you just needed to refresh your brain. Your brains. Yeah. So, you know, all you need to do is just take a break and watch a filler. And since the word break and filler are practically the same thing, you might as well just go ahead and watch one because, like, why not? And just do that and, just have some fun. And this break of ours can give us much needed content at that. I mean, sometimes the main line isn't enough to provide us, especially since we have a lot of fun, charismatic, and amazing comedy moments. I kid you not that I'm not trying to say that fillers are only useful for comedy situations, but hey, when it comes down to it, I feel like fillers never really miss when it comes to comedy. I mean, what chance are you ever going to see Ruki or see Kakashi get punched by a giant fisticuff? Very ironic moments. I said ironic. I know I said ironic, didn't I? I meant iconic. Just, that giant fist I was talking about that Kakashi got hit about? Just hit me with it. Because I'm done with myself. And while we're taking a break, we might as well see what Tenten is up to. Nothing. Nice. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who loves to see little side moments in a show, where they're able to flesh out a character and give them more personality or insight into their hobbies. Which is also something good that filler does. You see, back then, they were very accustomed to just showing side characters no love. I mean, I'm sorry to you Bleach fans, but be honest to me. Who got more screen time? Orihime or Orihime's melons? I think you know the answer to that. I mean, fillers can show you between like Naruto going on to a mission and training or being a 2026 office worker, and or like in One Piece, a filler can be like Luffy eating like in the morning, like a quintuple sized meal, and then eating again in the afternoon, and then the occasional fighting, but then eating right after. Just have to very much include the eating. I mean, there's nothing better than that. The thing is, since fillers are this mix-up of a nothing sandwich of events, you don't have to take anything super serious. In fact, you don't really have to pay attention. You could be on your phone, for crying out loud, and notice something that actually can catch your attention and be like, damn, that was actually kind of downright funny. And I enjoy things like that personally, and I hope you do too. But hey, I mean, there's really not much to talk about this outdated subject, so I kept it real short for y'all. Well, I said my piece. I can only hope that some of y'all truly did listen to me, went back to some of the few animes that had filler, and gave them a try. And if you're already someone who watched filler, go down to the comment section below and tell me your favorite filler. I'd enjoy to hear many people's opinions on this extremely, which I cannot exaggerate enough, undoubtedly outdated subject. And, well, I'm out. Have a great one, Homesickles.